Hello, welcome to Dungeons Rolls podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today, I know I was supposed to review the South Park at Christmas time special. Well, it's not special. It's a DVD I have that has the first seven South Park Christmas special episodes. After the third one, I decided to take a break and to watch a new movie that came out. Well, depending on who you ask, it came out in Canada in 2021, but it came out in July 2020 in like the States, and that movie that we're going to be talking about is The French Dispatch, which I've been waiting for a long time to watch. Well, not a long time, but since I've heard about it, I've been waiting to see this film, right? Which is Wes Anderson film starring. Well, it has a lot of the regulars like Adrian Brody, Tilda Swinton, Frances McDormand. I don't know if she's been in a lot of Wes Anderson movies, but definitely like Owen Wilson's in it, William Dafoe, Edward Norton, Henry Winkler's in the film. You got Lewis Smith, and a lot of French actors are in the film as well, right? And Elizabeth Moss. Apparently, Gerard Depardieu is in the film. I thought this guy was dead. Holy shit. Who was he in the movie? Also, Timothée Chalamet and Léa Seydoux is in the film, right? So, the movie is basically... I don't even know what decade this movie is supposed to take place in, because like at some points it looks like it takes place in the 30s, sometimes it looks like it takes place in the 70s. Like I have no idea what decade this film is supposed to take place in, but the movie is basically supposed to be a love letter to American journalism, right? Which some of my more political friends will like cringe at that, but like the movie is basically about this American newspaper founded by Bill Murray's character, who is an American living in France, who's the son of a newspaper publisher. Is the son of a newspaper publisher who moved to France and started his magazine there called The French Dispatch, and the movie is basically short stories that are based off like articles from the French Dispatch, right? Which are narrated by the writers. So like the first story is narrated by Owen Wilson, and it's basically about the town that they live in, right? Which I can't remember what town it's supposed to be, right? And then like you have like Tilda Swinton's like story, which she plays J.K.L. Berenson, who is like an art critic, I guess, or something like that, where she tells the story about like Benicio del Toro's character, Moses Rossenthaler, who is a convicted murderer who killed like two people, who is an artist genius who is in love with one of the jailers in the movie, played by Léa Seydoux, who gets naked in this movie, which is like, this is like the first time I've ever seen nudity in like a Wes Anderson film that wasn't like a painting or whatever, which is a little weird, right? And like what happens, and like what happens is that he's a genius when it comes to paintings. Like he created modern art in the movie, right? And like Adrian Brody plays this like a guy who's like an art dealer, right? Goes to see Moses's art, right? And his art is like, very weird because like, it's supposed to be a portrait of a naked Léa Seydoux, but it just looks like bloody swirls, right? So like he goes back to his like uncles who also run his art dealership with, right, to tell him like, yeah, he found this artist, and like, he has this test to see if modern artists are legit, right? Where he has draw a picture for him, and if it's actually looks like the thing that's supposed to look like, that's how he knows whether they're a good artist or not. So Benicio del Toro's character draws a perfect sparrow, right? Which Adrian Brody goes around hyping up Moses' art, right? And like at first, like his art with the swirls and stuff, his portrait of Léa Seydoux, who's called Guardian in the film, but she's titled as Simone, but it's like Guardian, right? Who is like, yeah, it's like a portrait of her. It doesn't do well, but then he like auctions out the perfect sparrow picture, and that does well. So like he goes back to Benicio del Toro's character, makes him draw makes him paint new paintings, right? And like 3 years go by, he puts him on a deadline. Is able to like have an art gallery for like Benicio del Toro's paintings, right, at the prison, and Benicio del Toro shows off multiple paintings, right, at the gallery that's in the prison, right, and like rich old ladies there to buy them all for like a large sum. But Benicio del Toro fucks over Adrian Brody by having the paintings. He didn't paint them on canvas. He painted them on the wall of of the prison. So Adrian Brody's character can't make any money off it because like he can't take the paintings off the wall, right? Right, completely screws over Adrian Brody. He's like, you motherfucker! You fucked me! You ruined me, you asshole! It was like, Adrian Brody, man, was fucking hilarious in this movie. Which he's very hilarious in my favorite Wes Anderson movie, which is the Grand Budapest Hotel, which is like the second to last Wes Anderson film before this one, right? So like yeah, the next story was basically Frances McDormand, who plays Lucinda Clements, has this is a journalist working on a piece writing about the student protests, which the main student protester is Timothée Chalamet's character Ferreira, who's friends with Frances McDormand's character, who's his mom's a writer, and they don't say what his dad does, but he fought in the war, which is probably World War I, right? I think this movie takes place in the 30s. There's Tommy guns in the movie, so it's 30s or 40s or whatever, right? Yeah, so he is part of this student revolution where they're trying to basically at this college get rid of the rule that boys and girls can't be in the same dorm together or whatever, right? And there's a little love story going on. I thought it was a little weird when Lucinda Clements' character is fucking Ferreira, which is not, they don't show it, but it's implied. And there's a little romance between Ferreira, Timothée Chalamet's character with another student who constantly disagrees with him, right? Called Juliet, right? And like it was that story I thought was pretty good, and I forgot to mention the movie switches between color and like black and white, and there's like animated sequences, especially in the second to last story in the movie, which is the next one after this, right? And I don't know. I thought this one was probably the student protest one, the manifesto. He's writing a manifesto. I thought that this is the one that was the most melancholy. I thought, whereas like, oh, this is the heartwarming like story, right? Which is probably going to be a lot of people's favorite, right? So like the second to last one, which the last one's really short. Second to last one's about Jeffrey Wright's character, who's a writer. Who's a homosexual, by the way. At least I think they said he was a homo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was either they said he was a homosexual or it was Matthew Amorick's character, but I'm pretty sure that it was Jeffrey Wright's character, who is I forget what the term is, but basically he doesn't have photographic memory. He has typographic memory, which he can remember everything that he's ever written, right? So there's like this TV interview with Lev Schreiber where he's recalling like an article that he wrote for the French Dispatch where he was supposed to have dinner with the French police commissioner played by Matthew Amorick, who has this like Japanese chef that's working for him as the cook for the police station, right? And he's supposed to be like this, like, very talented chef. So, like, he's supposed to have dinner with the police commissioner, but what happening is the police commissioner's son gets kidnapped by Edward Norton's character, who's called the chauffeur, because there's, like, William Dafoe's character, who's, like, about to get executed by the police, is, like, they want to... Edward Norton's gang wants him freed, right? So they kidnapped his son using there's like an air balloon, but like a lot of it's the thing where they animated a bunch of shit that probably would have cost a lot of money. So it's like they came up with a pretty clever way of cutting costs, which I thought the movie looked. The animated sequences looked great, and the sets looked awesome, right? And and I love that there's like a scene where they're trying to tell like this, there's a scene where like a character like tells this story of how he got kicked out of the military, right? Because there's apparently France was in fought in West Africa or somewhere. There was apparently a war in the 30s or whatever where the French were in Africa or whatever, right? And they don't show the character telling the story. They show a stage production of an actor who's portraying the characters from portraying the college students. Telling the story, and it was very good. I thought it was So I really enjoyed the film. I loved a lot of the humor in the film. The high energy stuff was good. The writing and the script were the writing was top notch. Right. The performances were good, especially Jeffrey Wright's very good in the movie. So was Frances McDormand and Timothée Chalamet, who's French but is doing an American accent and speaks mostly English. He speaks English throughout the movie, right? So it's kind of weird. There's scenes where he's it's weird where you have this French fucking actors speaking American accent, talking with French people, and they're speaking French, but he's speaking in English, and it's what the fuck? Oh my god! I don't know. I really enjoyed Wes. I don't know. I really like Wes Anderson movies, and like I love the class because there's the class, and there's just like I love how his newer movies just look very classy and beautiful, but it's still there's still like lowbrow humor here and there, right? Right. So I don't know. I really enjoyed the film, man. And I gotta say, I love this fucking film. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I highly recommend the French Dispatch, which is probably when I'm going to do like best of the worst movies that I've watched in 2010. This is probably going to be in my top, it's going to be in the top, man. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this film, and I would totally recommend it, right? So yeah, I'm going to upload this review tonight, and I'm going to try to post the South Park review on Monday, but we have some problems where it's the thing. If I had known this sooner, I would have, instead of watching this movie, I would have finished my South Park review. But it's like I didn't know at the time that apparently family is coming over on Monday, right? And it's like, what the fuck, man? It's like Christmas isn't till fucking Saturday, and we have family coming down. Like, what the fuck, dude? And obviously, I'm gonna have to spend time with them. Fuck. Sucks, man. Because, like, next week, I have it pretty much all off except for Boxing Day. Right? And I'm gonna have to, instead of working on my Christmas month reviews, I'm gonna have to spend this time with family. But, like, I'm gonna try to put out my Christmas month reviews, right? And I might, we did last year. We did like Christmas month all the way up till like New Year, like the 31st of December. So if if that happens, like if I have to if I don't put out at least, I want to put out at least 25 reviews for Christmas month. So like if during this week I couldn't put out any reviews, I will put out reviews after Christmas, right? Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. So if there's any Christmas movies you guys want me to review for Christmas month, make sure to post it in the comments. Okay, guys. Peace. Also, if there's any 2021 movies you guys want me to watch, let me know in the comments. And yeah, because like we're gonna on like New Year's or around New Year's, we're gonna do we're gonna talk about the movies that came out this year, and what were what were my favorites, which were some of the ones that I hated. Right, which Timothée Chalamet was in the same fucking year, was in one of my favorite movies and one of my hated films, which is Doom. Oh my god, man.